Hello, Brian Scott, the Mystic Skull. Who knows? Maybe I have somebody show up. Hopefully. Um, so I was going to this video. I get something in my head. And I'm going to do it no matter what. And I thought, well, I did the film thing. That was very um, successful. I mean, successful in that I had actual people show up. So I thought, well, I'll do each type. And I'll do today. I'll do the Scameras. And I thought I could have sworn I had like 8 or 9 of the things, but I actually only 2 of them are technically Scameras, right? Um, I and ironically, I actually had I have these 2 items that are Scameras, the same Scamera. Um, and I'll get into a little bit why I have 2. And then I turned around and bought 2 of this one. But to be fair, this one, the second one I bought was very different. It looked very different, but it was the same thing under the hood, which I kind of thought it would be. Um, let's see if I can find somebody to join us. Technically, it's 6 o'clock. Let me. It was so freaking hot today. I I was going to go out and do a little shooting, photo shooting, and I was just like, no, I'm going home. I'm going to look through the cameras. I'm going to do this video. I'm just going to deal with the heat is like a no go for me. But so believe I'm about 99% certain this is the first scammer I bought. Now it's interesting for someone who literally almost lives on Temu and now AliExpress. I've only bought 2 of the cameras, and I will say, besides showing that I can actually have a lot of control on what I buy, um, I actually was really impressed that what I got was really good, or at least it was good enough for me to warrant buying it, right? So I think what I'll do is go over what is a scammer first. I've done it in other videos, but you're just coming across this video, and also gives me time in case somebody want to actually join up. So a scammer is 2 words. This word scam and camera put together, you got a scammer. It's a scam. And while there is always exceptions to every rule, we can talk about generally what is a scammer. So generally, scammers are made in China, whereas the higher end cameras are made in Japan, more or less. Hey, Jeff, welcome aboard. My one true fan. How you been? Um, I just went. I thought I should go over what a scammer is before I go on with talking about them. So, as I was saying, they are predominantly made in China. Another thing about scammers, they have no names. Well, I say that this one actually has a name to it. It's a little star. Um, oh gosh, the WNO little star 10. Believe it or not, at least that's what's on the box. Not advertised anywhere else. Like if you go to Temu and look it up, and in fact, it'll be called different things, even though that's the name on the box. So, made in China, doesn't have a name, and then there is the line of what it is. This one says 64 megapixels. No way. I looked it up. AI says this is more like, and I was actually impressed. This AI says this is a good solid 10 megapixel. So I'm actually impressed. The other one, the General Plus, is an 8 megapixel. So, once you get, they're all interloped or whatever the word is, where they fluff it up. But when you get down to it, and I will say, This is kind of a bad 8 megapixel because the camp snap is an 8 megapixel and it blows out the water. I don't know about that. It's close. All right. So lies about what the camera does, what the camera is. No, and you'll be lucky if you find who makes it too. Now, for this one, and oh, by the way, these are the two cameras in question. I could have sworn I had more, but to be fair, I will say though, this is also technically a Scamera, even though it's a film camera. Um, but we'll go into this one a little bit later. Um, but so I have a lot of toy cameras, but not a lot of Scameras, which is amazing since I spend like half my time on Temu. But anyway, so I was really lucky in picking these. I'll be honest though, I just picked this because, well, actually this was the first time I bought it. I just picked it because of the way it looked. And it was a very happy accident. So one of the things about scammers, I mean, I guess it really is a half glass half full or half empty look to it. One could say, hey, I paid 20, well, this was 22, it's now, I think it's 38. Thank you, Orange Man. So, so yeah, um, it has gone up a lot on Temu. But I I bought it. Actually, I believe this one, it was the first one I bought. And even though I'll be completely honest, it's very fast. It clicks real fast, man. It's like, like a DSLR camera. But for this one, it had a lot of oh, what would be called, a lot of filters on it. And one set is a kaleidoscope filters. It has like 6 or 7 of them. And I actually use it to create these abstract kaleidoscope pictures. And I haven't done it yet, but I want to actually print them out, blow them up real big and print them out. Um, One of the things I really like about the Scameras, and eventually I will probably buy a few more. It really depends. I'm not seeing anything that really tells me that it's like a lot of the cameras are just junk. But I I really want to do more with them. Um, all right. So this one is the W&O Little Star 10. Um, and I did buy another one. It looked completely different, but once you open it, I mean, once you get into it, it's the exact same camera. And I gave that one away. A friend of mine, she went into photography and she just wanted something so simple. I said, "Here, take this," and it had a lot of fun things she could do with it. Um, so scammers, in many ways, they cross currents with toy cameras. You know, this is a toy camera, just as this is a toy camera. This Cameo, it's a very basic camera. All it is point and shoot, and that's it. Um, by the way, there's a little story with this one. The flash didn't work on it, so I'm getting it. I finally, cleaned the connectors and everything, and I went to turn it on, and it popped. So the conductor in there or whatever, the and it scared the crap out of me. So no flash for that one, unfortunately. And I have film it too, so I've been taking pictures, but it can only now be. So anyway, you have your toy cameras, which I think really lends itself to creativity, right? You have so little that they do, and that's why I feel, when you're dealing with these type of cameras, you have a sort of uh, the lomography feel. I know lomographers will just tell you it has to be analog, but I think that's crap. I think you know. But this is far more a real camera than this, right? In that it has actually I don't yeah, I think it has 10. I'm trying to remember now. But if nothing else, in the way it's built, right? Because one of the things about the Scameras is they are cheaply made. I think I bought this one for less than 18. Actually, I think I bought for $12. But now it's expensive too. I can't remember. I just saw it on there. Let's see what if I can look it up. It's 1648, down from 1978. Now but now you can only buy it. Nope, this is the same one. Yeah, same. Um, there is on there another one. It looks very different. All right, so sorry about that. So that is what basically a scammer is. It's a cheap camera from China that says it's one thing when it's not. You'll see a lot of these, and honestly, unless you are a kid using it as a toy, or a crazy adult who wants to create something bizarre looking, um, you're not going to want this camera. It's not going to be a camera. But then again, with the state of cameras today, maybe it should be a camera that adults would take. This thing, I haven't used this in 4 months, and it turned right on. The battery is completely full. It, you know, these are amazing little powerhouses. I took this one yesterday. Well, whenever it was last, I took it out for 3 hours, not even realizing that I'd taken 639 pictures. I will talk about each one though. It's all good to do 639 pictures, but um, there's something about when you do that many pictures at once, trying to get the pictures off of the SD card becomes a little tricky. But you know, it's a little powerhouse. My point is, these are little powerhouses for what they are. I mean, who would ever expect that I can take this out for 3 hours? Oh, it did go down 1 bar on the battery, but I mean, my God, 3 hours, and I kept it on a lot of the time unknowingly. So, apples and oranges, whatever. Um, so let me tell you why I first bought this one. Well, after I bought this one, I bought this one for a while, but honestly, for me, if you're not using a kaleidoscope, it's it's okay. It claims to be what's that? A CCD sensor. It can't. I mean, maybe they still make. I don't know. Maybe China still makes them, but most cameras are not made. They're CMOS now. But see, that's the thing about the Scamera. Everybody wants the CCD camera, so they go off and they say, "Oh, it's a CCD," but it probably isn't, right? So anyway, I had bought this one, and I had some kind of problem. Later, find out it was the SD card, which came with it. I should have known, right? But 5 months to the day, this thing start not to work, and I basically I said, well, I'm just going to buy another one, chuck it up and buy another one. And I kind of cried about it and just left it to its own devices. Um, Long story short, though, that One Street camera came with a SD card, so I just put it in there. Now it works um, for now. So now I have two of them. I don't know what I'm going to do with two of them. Though I think one of the good things would be on this one, there's two filters. One's vivid and the other is black and white. Um, the black and white on this one, it's really interesting, and I use it all the time. This one's cool, but between this and this, something happened. The older one and the newer one that came out, they changed something in the sauce, so to speak. So the black and white on this one is not as good as on this one. Um, but I love this one so much that I bought it again, and now I have two that work. But I'll go out and take pictures with this. I did show this before somewhere. Um, you won't see it if you are like this far away. It just has this ethereal look to it. It's really cool looking. Now, when you get up to really close, you realize, oh, it's all out of focus. But again, it has sort of a Hoga, toy camera look done digitally. So I think that's one of the things I really like about the Scameras is that they have this low res lomography type of artsy thing you can do with it. Um, and that's why, even though the reason why this is not a Scamera is because it tells you what it is. It tells you how many megapixels it has. It tells you what it does. It has a name. Though that's another tricky little thing that's happening now. The scammers are being given names. Um, Minolta and Yeshua, they are both scammers now. What they make, because the companies that had them sold their names, the rights to the names, off to these scammer companies. So the Minolta, I don't know which one's worse. The Minolta probably is the worst of them, but the Yeshua, they charge a lot. I mean, can you imagine paying 300 and some dollars for a scammer? I would not. I don't care what it does. Um, but that's interesting that that development is now coming along, right? You now have these scammers that went from no names to now brand names, what used to be brand names, and they're charging an arm and a leg. I went to ProCam, my oasis for photography out here, and they're selling Minoltas. I'm like, are you kidding me? They had literally every Minolta you could want to buy. And I'm like, why are you selling that, right? I mean, it gives them nothing. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, so let me go through each one of these first. This is the W&O Little Star 10. As I said, it does have a lot of different filters on it, and black and white's one of them, really nice. I believe there's a red, or no, that might be on the other one. The later one has like this whole red thing, makes it look like you're in Amsterdam in the red district. But this one, uh, again, the kaleidoscope, I believe there's like four or five. There's a lot of different, basically like one doubles it, one triples it, and then it goes on. Um, and again, what I want to do is create uh, prints from those abstractions going out. But again, oh, and then it has, so on the back, you'll see, sorry, very typical controls, and it has a little selfie thing that it goes back to, so that it'll see you and take a picture of you, which is really nice when you want to do that with the kaleidoscope filter. It does have video. They both have video. Uh, you probably, I would not use sound on it, but definitely if you're just going to use it for, recording something. And they actually, I mean, the video is, it's decent. It's not nothing to write home about. I want to show this one. Technically not a camera because it does tell you the true megapixel. It tells you everything about it that tells you is true about it. but no name, though it has been called the Winnet. This is, while these are Temu cameras, this is Alibaba camera. Though technically I bought this on Walmart. I bought this way back before I got the Camp Snap because I couldn't get the Camp Snap, so I thought, oh, I'll buy this one, um, and it's decent. I can't remember what the megapixel is. I want to say it's 8 megapixel also. Um, it does have. Let me get this. I turned off the sound. I'm not really certain. Let's try that. So it has sort of the back screen like the Camp Snap. And I truly believe this was a reaction to the Camp Snap because I didn't see this until after the Camp Snap came out. It has about 6 or 7 really good um, filters. There's one on there called Retro, which kind of has a yellowish tint to it. Take it outside. I'm telling you, it looks like old Kodak from the 1970s. It really. I'm actually kind of impressed with this, though. Again, you kind of, if you go pixel peeping, you're not going to really like. It's mush, just like most of the others. But again, I can print this out. This is 8 megapixel, and if what is art? If you're looking at a painting, excuse me, you gotta look away from it to some distance to see the thing, right? Especially if it's really big. So the Camp Snap, those type of cameras don't really, even though they're made in China, I wouldn't call these a Scamera because they are pretty darn um, truthful on what they are, right? And technically, this doesn't really have a name to it. But then you look at something like a Minolta brand name, and that's a scammer. That's that's definitely, there's not a true stat in anything the Minolta does. So um, back to this, very basic, not much to really say about it, right? Um, Again, no name on it. Another thing you'll say, a lot of them will just say camera. I love that part. But like this one's saying it's 64 megapixel. It's not. But technically, it has a place to put it in a tripod. I mean, you can really work around something like this, right? Sorry about that. So there's the W&O. I bought that twice, gave one to away. Bought this twice, found out I could fix this one, so now I have two, which I might keep this one on Vivid, or actually this one on black and white and this one on Vivid, because one of the things, I think this is actually the one to really talk about a lot. Actually, you know what? I think I can put this on here. Yeah. So let's see. Oh no, it's oh, yeah. Maybe. So there's your welcome. Um, when you go through, yeah, it's not going to work. So right now I have it on black and white. Um, Again, I really love the dreamy black and white. Um, that it gives. the the If I was to say, hey, what do you hate about this camera? Which a lot of these cameras I have issues with. It would be getting turning on anything on this camera because you have to go through a list of things. Even something like the light, which it's decent. If in this room, it'll light up this room, but that's about it. It's probably like 6 or 7 feet tops, and it's not very bright. But in order to just turn on the light, I have to go through a whole list, and it's not on top either. And though I will say, it also has a fill light, so the light will stay on if you want it, or it'd be automatic. Also, the other thing I don't like is that the filters are way down. And so if I want to change from filter to filter, I mean, one day I had done it so much that it turned the thing off because I wore the battery out going back and forth. Um, but this is the other thing about this one. I said this somewhere else in another video. I am just shocked at how, like, when if you have it on Vivid, it can be dark. I mean, it'd be like nighttime almost, and it brightens up. I was in the woods, a real dark woods, where I mean, I could see, but it was dark. Even though it was daylight out there, if you look through the branches, you can see the light a little bit. But this thing just lit up the place. I just when you take pictures, something about it takes in more light. Maybe I don't know. Something about but the but the black and white one, no, it's kind of dark. So I would call this one a scammer too, even though it is technically what it is. There's nothing bad. It's a toy camera. It's the way they advertise it. When I went on Walmart where I bought it, it said it was well. So the description, I wish I could get that description of. It describes it as a digital camera. Then in another part, which I didn't really read the whole thing. I read the half frame part. So it then claims it's a half frame film camera. It literally claims it's like 3 or 4 different things in the description, when in fact it's just basically a regular 35 millimeter, you know, box. That's basically it, with a flash. So for that reason, and it did have a name to it. I don't remember what it's called now offhand. It's an odd name. Um, it's pure scammer though, right? It's telling you it's one thing to boost it up, even though it's some, which is not bad. That's the sad part of scammers. If they just tell you what the fuck it was, you would like it. You would like the camera. Um, so anyway, I think that's pretty much. I don't really know what else to say about it. You got any questions, Jeff? If you're still there, um, I I didn't know what how long of a video I was going to go with this. Again, this is still on Temu, but the price went up big. I think I bought it around early warning signs as a lens cap that says, yeah. Well, yeah, camera right across it, right? Um, but again, I think it depends on how you're going at it. If I'm buying this thinking, oh, I'm going to, make videos for YouTube on this, I'm going to do all kinds of crazy, yeah, you're going to be disappointed. You got scammed. But if you're me and like, oh yeah, I know this is a piece of crap, and but I want it, it's a very different issue, right? And happy accidents. It really, it produces a really nice picture. Um, but I think that is the big thing with scammers, the market being the way it is, where everything is so expensive now. Even and you have this tale of two countries that are making the vast majority of cameras. You have China and Japan. One's going the way with the Scamera, and the other one's going high end. Though Japan is going down too. Japan, or at least some of these companies like Fujifilm. I question when Fujifilm puts out stuff. Uh, you have this reputation of having amazing cameras, and then you put out something. And don't get me wrong, I want an Evo, mini wide, doesn't matter. But when you put out something like that, you can understand why people, the fans, are kind of alarmed. So a lot of them are realizing, though, there's a market, right? You have like Camp Snap. There's literally dozens of Camp Snap wannabes on YouTube, on Facebook, and on um, uh, what's that other one? TikTok. But yeah, this is going back to my premise here of yes, it's a scam. Yes, it's kind of a toy. It has very basic, um, but what you do with it says a lot, right? I mean, who would have thought I could take this out for 3 hours and get 630 some pictures? I mean, you know, I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that it really. Now, to be fair though, retrieving those, um, not so much. Yeah, this one has the card that came with it. And when I went to retrieve the pictures, it took a while. I had to unplug it because it froze up. I had to unplug it, turn it off, reset it, pray to the gods, put it back on. I finally got it to, but you can't just go in and click and get the pictures. It's um, so keeping, I think what has to be done is not keeping, because it wasn't just the pictures I had taken that day. I had older pictures on there. And I think when you have just so many pictures on there, it works a little SD, the Chinese SD card to death. Um, but I I just find that it is so akin to giving you a creative control by having such limitations. Let's say same thing with this thing here, this kitty zoom. I took this out to East Fork Lake, took some pictures. I started. There's a I don't know what they call it. It's like an extreme black and white, but I was thinking do like as long as you keep printing them out, you can do like a very long, maybe even the length of the room. Uh, pictures, not the same thing. Well, maybe the same thing, right? Like a Warhol sort of. But I really love playing with these things. This one has, this is the kaleidoscope. Well, kaleidoscope for the kitty zoom, but it's very similar to the kaleidoscope of the R and W and O. And you could color them in. I would probably print them on more archival picture and blow them up. Get a different. And I mentioned this one, and mentioned these, whereas this isn't really a scamera. They do have scammers that do the printout, the thermal prints. So part of the thing though is trying to, you have to really look at what the scammer has. I will give Temu, especially Temu, not so much AliExpress. Temu, they they list what the camera does up to a point. They're not very truthful about what the specifications are, but definitely look at what the filters are. If they don't show you filters, it probably doesn't have filters. Don't get it, right. Having filters on these is one of the reasons to get these type of cameras. um, and then they give you, so I would definitely do that sort of look at the camera, see what the camera, what are the thing, the highlights that they're trying to sell the camera on. Um, and you gotta be kind of careful though. Some of these filters are kind of just these color fields that are added onto them. Not very interesting. Um, so again, kind of get an idea, and also shop, shop. While this one is now 30 some dollars from the $22 I pay for, you can find this less than 30. So because what it is, all these different individuals are selling on Temu, right? So somebody is providing the camera and they're just reselling it on Temu. So shop till you drop, definitely. Also, if you're thinking about getting something like the what's that called? That One Street or the Campfire Cam, all those almost all those are from AliExpress. So really get a good idea of what the camera looks like, what you know, and they also a lot of times they'll share the same advertisement. Um, it's really weird. So if you want that One Street, you can pay the $100 and get all these little things that come with it, or you can go to AliExpress and just buy just the camera for half the price, actually less than half, really. So I don't want, it is buyer beware. When I first got this one, I put the SD card in upside down by accident, and it went into the thing. I was rattling. I'm trying to get it out. And I said, screw it. I'm just going to unscrew the back and hope it, and it did. It came off and I got it out. But some of these are so freaking cheap, and um, definitely you're not going to do wildlife photography with it, if and definitely not street photography of people, because turning them on can take a while, right? These do not turn well. This one turns on pretty quick, actually. So again, they each have their own little strength and weakness. All right. So unfortunately, I only have two scammers to show you. I wish I had more. I've shown you my analog cameras. I've shown you the scammers. I guess the next thing will be the actual. Well, maybe the Digicam. Though again, I only have two of those, and one of them I broke. Uh, we'll see. Maybe that, or I'll just go to the Canon 4000D. A very good camera actually for beginners like me. And uh, anyway, thank you for showing up, Jeff. If you have anything else, say. Otherwise, I'm going to go. I think. Good night.